everyone, I'm Anouk and I'm joined here today with Roger from Apogee, and we're going to be talking about everything that is here, and the setup looks great. Please walk us through a little bit.
Great. So our first announcement has to do with Dolby Atmos. Probably you've seen here at NAMM that there's lots of talk of Dolby Atmos, immersive audio, all that. So Symphony I/O down here, that is our flagship interface. And we've kind of overhauled everything about it to make it more compatible with Dolby Atmos. So this is our Thunderbolt interface. There's 32 inputs and outputs. It's very configurable. It's modular. But we've made it so that the outputs can be connected up to 32 speakers now. And then you can manage all those speakers and switch between different, what we call monitor workflows. And our big focus is to try to make Dolby Atmos a bit more plug and play. It's always been a really complicated system to set up. And with some recent developments in the Atmos world, like Apple Logic Pro now has Atmos included in the DAW. We're trying to make it much easier for kind of your everyday mixer and creator to start making Atmos content. Now, I don't know if you've ever had any experience hearing Atmos mixes.
I haven't actually, so I've heard a lot about the technology.
You know what you should do is maybe go over to a couple of the speaker manufacturers have rooms. And you go in and, stereo, you listen to the speakers, you got the band in front of you.
Oh,
with Atmos, you have the band is around you, and it's they call it immersive audio, and it really is very immersive. So we are really trying to bring that to kind of everyday musicians, producers, and creators. That's number one. So let's go over here, and I will show you our next thing. So our second launch is this product called Duet 3. Now, you may be familiar with Duet. Duet was, it's been definitely our most popular interface. We introduced the first Duet in 2007, kind of started the whole laptop music production industry, as it were.
Yeah.
You'd see Apogee Duets in major studios. So many artists use them. Last fall, we introduced Duet 3, which is the very latest version of this product. We kind of redesigned everything, kind of started from scratch. And we did a few new things with this version of Duet. We now have this kind of really clever dock. So I can actually... What's that?
What does it do?
What does it do? So it is the way to interface microphones, headphones, speakers with my computer. So it really is kind of turns your computer into a complete and really high quality studio. So I can, with this dock, I can connect up a couple microphones here, connect up my speakers, my headphones, and then this really commands everything. So I can, this is my listening level, I can set my recording levels with this, and it's just a great way to have a very compact studio. This dock, which when I pull it out, it'll make my Logic session go a little funny. But this dock allows me to really easily connect it to the studio. I can then remove Duet, and let's do it over here. I can then take this, I've got a little breakout cable, and now I can go on the road with the device. Makes it super simple to go on the road. And then the third announcement is over here. Again. And then finally we can do a lapse around the booth. So the third announcement for NAMM is a brand new plugin called Apogee Soft Limit. So Soft Limit was a technology that we came up with our very first product in 1991. And in this world of digital audio, it turns out that people like the sound of what is called analog tape. So like, remember, you see pictures of old studios, it's got this big magnetic tape. Well, magnetic tape had kind of these deficiencies that people really like. It kind of warms up your sound. Okay, so you record onto it, and what comes back isn't exactly what you put in. It's actually been enhanced a little bit, and it's a little bit warmer, and some of the transients are kind of rounded off in a nice way. And so we introduced this product, this circuit, which was in this really early product in 1990. And it's been on all of our hardware products. So the first time we now have this process in a software plugin. Yeah. The coolest thing about this plugin, very surprising, it's free. So we are giving this plugin away, and why would we give away a plugin? We've been known for our hardware, for our hardware devices, that's Symphony IO. We've been making plugins now for a couple of years, but nobody really knows about them. The people who try them, they love them, but a lot of people don't even know we make plugins. And so if we give away a free one, we're really trying to increase our audience. So that is our plan with this plugin. It's going to be shipping probably within the next couple of weeks, but you can go on our website and kind of pre-order it.
Awesome.
If you can pre-order something that's for free. But
how were you able to kind of transfer that into digital?
Oh, it's a whole process where you. I'm actually kind of the project manager for this plugin. It's really a process where you're analyzing the hardware, kind of our hardware, and you do a fairly complex analysis to kind of get the characteristics of the hardware. Take all kinds of data, and then you transmit that to your DSP algorithm programmer, and they make up an algorithm that is duplicating kind of that hardware behavior. And you get some graphics folks, you come up with a concept, and someone comes up with a really beautiful looking graphic, and you assemble it into a plugin.
And what would you say the most challenging part of putting that into digital?
I'll tell you, it was time, because the decision to do this plugin was done not too long ago. And so it was probably about 2 months ago. And in the terms of product development and a plugin, that is very, very fast.
Yeah, I mean,
So we really sort of said, we really want to announce this for NAMM. We all put our heads together, and we made it happen.
That is so amazing. And you said you analyzed a lot of data. What kind of data was that?
Oh boy. So
I love that.
when you basically this kind of, whenever you try to analyze kind of an electronic circuit, electronic circuits, the hardware circuits, they can get really complicated in their behavior. Notice it's easy to make them, but then how all these parts of the circuit work together can get very, very complex. It has to do with, if you think about a synthesizer has an envelope of a sound. There's an attack, a sustain, a decay, and a release. And all audio waveforms have that kind of behavior as it goes through a circuit. And so it's really just trying to best measure what's happening. But there's so many parameters that change. It's kind of hard to describe, where kind of depending on the frequency of the sound, depending on the amplitude, depending on the slope, there are like 10 different parameters that are all interactive in a piece of hardware. And it's just trying to characterize that with a DSP algorithm, with code. And you always have to go back and forth a couple of times, many times. It's like you start with something that's an approximation. It's almost like making a drawing, right? If you see something in reality, you kind of do a sketch, and you get the basic idea. Then you try to fill in the details. Then you try to do the shading, and kind of with each new version, it's a little bit closer to the reality. And so that's what you're kind of doing with code and a circuit.
And are you planning to release more plugins soon, or are you currently waiting for how the audience will interact with this plugin?
Well, we have a whole suite of plugins right now. So we have, for example, plugins that run on hardware and software, which is something very, very, very few plugins do, where you can get the same plugin that runs on an interface, our Symphony desktop, and also runs what is known as natively on the computer. So we've got a whole family called the Apogee FX series. We have a series of plugins called the Clear Mountains series, which has been co-developed with legendary mixer Bob Clearmountain. And we have a continuous pipeline of plugin ideas that we want to come out with.
So what can our audience be looking forward to?
Well, so I'm Bob Clearmountain, legendary engineer. He has a lot of interesting ideas and processes that he's developed over decades. So if we've done a few of them, probably gonna do a few more eventually. That's certainly gonna be one thing that we'll definitely see something of.
Awesome. Well, we'll be looking forward to more updates, and thank you so much for answering our questions.
Sure. Thanks for visiting the booth. All right. Thank you.